What's up with y'all? Y'all good? Good. I'm Trenton Kibbs. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and locking in with the kid, man. So we back on the theory vibes. We only got a couple more videos left. Today we gonna name our intervals. Also, hold up. We're gonna build a major 7 chord. We're gonna build our first extended chord. And this is a gateway to all that R&B stuff y'all see me doing. Today is your turn. If y'all not putting this into practice, it's just never gonna work. I can only do so much for y'all. I can't build y'all chords. I mean, I could get y'all chord packs. I could get y'all samples. Let me know if that's what y'all want though. This is the A major scale. How did I build the A major scale? If you didn't watch my first video, shame on you, bruh. Go back and watch that. But let's recap real quick. The pattern to build a major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Check it. From your root, you go whole step, another whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and a half step gets you back to your root. I repeated it all the way up the keyboard. So now we got the A major scale in multiple octaves. The second part is to harmonize the scale. All that means is to find out what chords are available to us in this key. What chords can we use? And because we got 7 notes, we're gonna have 7 chords. Each chord associated with a note from our scale. That's our chords right there. We got an A major, we got a B minor, we got a C sharp minor, we got a D, we got an E, F sharp minor, G sharp, half diminish, and then we back at A. How did I come up with these chords? Well, you should have watched the harmonizing video. If you didn't though, let's recap. Starting on each note of the scale, you're gonna take the note you're starting on, the 3rd note, and the 5th note. That's gonna get you a triad. Let's start with A. We skip this, we get C sharp. We skip this, we get E. A, C sharp, E, that's an A major chord. Let's just start on C sharp. So we got C sharp, we got E. The next note should be G sharp because that's the 5th. So we skip the 4th, boom, what do you know? G sharp. That's a C sharp minor chord. So you do that for every note in your scale and you're gonna get 7 chords. I already know in any major scale, I'm gonna have 3 major chords, 3 minor chords, and 1 half diminished. The 3 major chords are gonna be based off your root, the 4th note of the scale, and the 5th note. So these chords are always gonna be major. That's just how theory works. The 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th, they always gonna be minor. In any major scale I go to, I already know I'm gonna have 3 major chords to choose from, I'm gonna have 3 minor chords to choose from, and I'm gonna have 1 half diminished chord to choose from. And I already know where those chords are gonna be because I know the notes in the scale based on the pattern. So going into this A major scale, I already know I was gonna have a B minor chord. Why? Because B is the 2nd note in the scale, and the chord based off the 2nd note is always minor. I know I'm gonna have an F sharp minor. Why? F sharp is the 6th degree in the scale, the 6th interval. The chord based off of that is always minor. So I know I'm gonna have an F sharp minor off rip. So we need to name our intervals. It's important because right now we have no way of quickly identifying a particular note in the scale. The first note is your root, your tonic. We already talked about that. That's really simple. Your 2nd interval in any major scale is a major 2nd. Your 3rd interval is a major 3rd. Let's go to the 6th interval. Guess what? It's a major 6. Let's look at the 7th interval. Guess what we gonna call that? That's a major 7th. Let's talk about the 4th and the 5th. You got a perfect 4th and you got a perfect 5th. So why is this important? If I say, yo, point out the major 6th interval, you know exactly what note I'm talking about. Now, shit about to get real for some of y'all. Some of these intervals, they live in double lives. They got 2 names. And we're gonna start with the major 2nd. The major 2nd live in foul. He got another name. The perfect 4th, she got another name. The major 6th, all live in double lives. What's the other name we call a major 2nd? Major 9th. When somebody talk about the major 9th or 9th, they talking about the 2nd. It's the same note. When somebody say perfect 4th or major 11, same note. And I'm gonna make it make sense in a second. Major 6, aka major 13th. These are all the major intervals y'all gonna come across. Why is this called a 9th? Why is this called the 11th? Why is this called a 13th? The answer to that is really in the octave. So we covering 1 octave here with our scale. Root, to 7. Now let's start counting up from our major 7th. If we count up from our major 7th, we're gonna get an 8, which is our root. And guess what's the next number? 9. It's the same note as our second, an octave down. That's where that comes from. And if we keep counting, 10, this will be our 3rd, but we don't say that. 11, that's our 4th. You can say 12, we don't say that. 13, that's our 6th. So that's where those numbers come from. But you don't have to be in a higher octave to call that a 9, to call that an 11, to call that a 13. Now, let's build a major 7 chord. That's an A major chord. How do we make that a major 7 chord? We add the major 7th interval. We just gave it a name. It's right here. It's a G sharp. It's a major 7 chord. To make a major 7 chord, all you do is you take your 3-note chord and you add that major 7 interval. Now, a shortcut for thinking about this is that major 7 interval is a half step below the root. So anywhere you got a major chord, look for that note a half step below the root, and you got a major 7 chord. Let's try it with this note, the D note. So we got D, we skip the E, we go to the 3rd note, F sharp. We skip that note, we go to the 5th note, A. That's a D major chord. Now we want to make that a D major 7 chord. We know the major 7 interval is a half step below our root. So we looking for the note that's a half step below D now. That's gonna be a C sharp. That's this note right here. D major 7. So now y'all know the names of your intervals. Now you know how to build a major 7 chord. I'm gonna do y'all one more solid though. Let's say you done building this major 7 chord. You wanna make it even more colorful. You wanna make it a major 9th chord. Guess what interval you gonna add now? Come on, man. You're gonna add that major 9th, or that 2nd, which will be B in this case. It's a major 9th chord. In order to make these extended chords, you must have your major 7th note in your chord. Think of that interval like extended mode activated. Once you have that note in your chord and you start adding all these extra intervals, then you get your major 9th, then you get your major 13. But you need that major 7th in there. If you don't have it in there, you're just adding the 9th to your chord. So we would call this an A add 9. There's no major 7. This is not a major 9th chord. This is an add 9. We're adding the 9th to our chord. Same way if we just added this 11. We're just adding the 11. We're not activating our extended chords until we put that G sharp, until we put that major 7th interval. Now, shit, everything else we add on top of this is a major whatever. Major 9, major 13, major 11. And that's how the game go. And that's all I got for y'all, man. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching and comments and likes and subs. That shit mean a lot. If there's anything else y'all try to see, link me up in the comments and I'll get with y'all. I'll see y'all soon.